Gender-based violence, or GBV, is rooted in harmful gender norms and attitudes. Without changes in these norms, laws, and other efforts to reduce and prevent gender-based violence may not be effective. This is especially true for St. Lucia, where gender-based violence remains a pervasive issue despite the progressive domestic violence legislation that was enacted 2 years ago. In response, the Do Nation Foundation has launched the Engendering Change by Playing Your Part project, which aims to involve young people in efforts to end gender-based violence. Diane Felicien, the founder and CEO of the Do Nation Foundation, says that the project's objective is to raise awareness of GBV and the importance of the Domestic Violence Act among 25% of young people in key areas across the nation.
We want to foster enhanced support for this vital legislation and empower a select group of youth as effective advocates for gender equality and GBV prevention. Additionally, we will work to strengthen community engagement and dialogue around these critical issues, ensuring that every voice is heard. To further this goal, we will create youth-friendly version of the GBV bill and an animated video to enhance legal literacy among our young people, making the information accessible and engaging.
The Do Nation Foundation has partnered with the Department of Gender Affairs for this project and builds on the foundation laid by the department. Gender Relations Officer Binta Ernest underscored the importance of addressing the issue of GBV as an essential part of national development.
Gender-based violence taking place in communities and in the public sphere, where a lot of women who actually take part in politics will experience gender-based violence. You have certain demographics just by walking around. I'm an avid walker, I walk a lot. So just by simply doing your everyday activities, the things that you love, most people would experience gender-based violence. And gender-based violence, as Diane indicated, is grounded in harmful societal norms. And these norms are perpetuated by a lot of our societal institutions, and they're entrenched. And one way, I think, where violence is normalized, and one way to actually change that narrative would definitely be to engage youth. And I commend the Do Nation Foundation and the Government of Canada for this project, which is very youth-centered and youth-centric. So you have, and let's not forget that youth themselves experience and perpetuate gender-based violence.
The Government of Canada is funding this project through the Canada Fund of Local Initiatives.
Do Nation Foundation is utilizing resources from the UNICEF campaign and complementing the efforts of St. Lucia's Division of Gender Affairs to raise awareness about gender-based violence, to challenge harmful cultural norms, and to engender change among youth.
Canada's contributions to eliminating gender-based violence in all its forms goes back several years in St. Lucia. We were proud to support local women's rights organizations as they tirelessly advocated for the country's Domestic Violence Act, which today serves as a model to the rest of the Caribbean on inclusive legislation. While we are glad a stronger law exists to protect those who experience domestic violence, gender-based violence remains a pervasive issue, requiring a whole-of-society response.
Over the next 6 months, Do Nation will train a small group of young people to be agents of change.
Domestic violence is a pandemic. It's like COVID. Everybody knew somebody who had a relative who was impacted by COVID. And it is the very same thing as it relates to gender-based violence. So for me, deciding to join this project, deciding to be an ambassador, an advocate for this project, was kind of common sense approach. I think women have a responsibility to look out for other women. Men have a responsibility to look out for other men and also other women. And it starts off with our youth. Because if we can teach respect, if we can teach appreciation, if we can teach persons to have a general compassion and empathy for individuals, then I think all around we're on the right path.
It is anticipated that through this project, youth will be empowered to eradicate gender-based violence and build a safer and more inclusive nation. For the DBS News World, I am Zin Romulus.